Welcome to Oregon's 21st Century Community Learning Center's Orientation Training Series. This is Module 1, The Basics. The purpose of this training series is to support new staff and volunteers in the 21st Century Community Learning Center's programs, also called 21st CCLC. That's an acronym that we'll use throughout these trainings. This training is also intended to give context to the work you will be doing with students and their families outside regular school time. The outcome of this training is for you to gain useful knowledge of the common elements that exist in the 21st CCLC programs across the country. This online orientation training series is divided into 2 training modules. Module number 1, this module, introduces you to the basics of 21st CCLC program components. Module 2 shares specific guidance for new 21st Century CCLC staff and volunteers. This module will provide a brief history of the 21st CCLCs. You will also find out what the core components of 21st CCLC programs are. Lastly, you will hear about the grant requirements that are part of all the 21st Century Community Learning Centers. 21st CCLCs were first funded in 1998, with local schools applying and competing directly for grants from the federal U.S. Department of Education. The No Child Left Behind Act, passed in 2002, changed this by providing each state's education agency with its share of the funds. States are then required to provide grant competitions to eligible entities. Each state education agency, the Oregon Department of Education in our case, receives federal funds based on its share of Title I funding for low-income students at high-poverty, low-performing schools. No Child Left Behind, officially called the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, was reauthorized in 2015 as the Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA. Each 21st CCLC grant award must last a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 5 years. Oregon has funded 21st Century Community Learning Centers since 2002. Though with each statewide competition, the school districts and communities served vary. Currently, there are 24 21 CCLC programs in Oregon with 116 centers across the state. These centers serve elementary, middle, and high school students, depending on the needs of their community. There are several core components of 21st Century Community Learning Centers, which are true for all programs regardless of the number and ages of the students they serve or the communities in which they are located. The first required component is academic support for students. This is often provided by certified teachers or instructional assistants and can be in the form of engaging and active learning enrichment lessons, homework help, and/or credit recovery options for older students. Each 21st CCLC program defined academic supports in their approved grant proposals and must address these to help students strengthen academic performance. These academic supports must focus on defined, identified student needs that the program is funded to address. Enrichment opportunities are also provided to complement school day and academic learning. These may include an array of activities from the following: drug and violence prevention programs, career and technical programs, art, music, recreation programs, STEM programs, counseling programs, and character education programs. Other enrichment activities, including gardening, robotics, cooking, archery, internships or apprenticeship programs, things like that. These activities are often unique to the schools and the communities they serve. Family engagement is a third required key element in 21st century programs. Literacy and related educational services to the families of the children who are served in the program are important. And programs help support students by also partnering with their families to support their success through opportunities for literacy and related educational development, and promote active and meaningful engagement in the children's education. To function properly, every 21st CCLC program must function through intentional partnerships with the school districts they serve and in alignment of their program activities with the regular school day curriculum, improvement plans, and goals. This required that 21st century programs intentionally develop relationships and frequent communication with administrators, counselors, and teachers in the schools where they serve students together. All 21st CCLC out-of-school time programs must provide nutritional meals, and it's an essential component of 21st CCLC programs. What, when, and how the food is provided may vary, but a healthy meal or snack is provided during the program time, and often it's both the meal and the snack. In Oregon, all 21st CCLC grantees provide child and adult care food program meals and snacks at no charge to all participating students. Beyond this, many conscientious programs also provide supplemental food for students and families through local food banks and other partnerships. Transportation is also essential for student participation, and that's often provided by the school district to ensure that eligible students can get to and from the 21st CCLC program safely. Each grantee must ensure the students participating in the program can travel safely to and from each 21st CCLC center. A final core component of 21st CCLC programs is the importance of community partnerships and outreach. The name Community Learning Center means that its core consists of community partnerships, from local businesses to other agencies serving students and families, to community members and volunteers of all ages, experiences, and backgrounds. Connecting to and getting support from a variety of community resources ensures a broad array of experiences for students and families, as well as contributes to the sustainability of the program. No matter your job title, you can help your team fulfill its grant requirements. When you know the specific grant priorities for your program, you can plan and implement activities that support those program goals and help support your team. Because 21st CCLC programs are federally funded, they must collect accurate program participation and student outcome data. There are two important sets of data which all 21st CCLC programs are responsible for: collecting accurate daily attendance records and collecting feedback from others in the form of surveys. Get to know your program's daily routine for student attendance collection and make sure you're familiar with it. Learn which surveys your program provides to teachers, students, and/or parents, and when surveys are conducted. You can also find out how and when your program asks for feedback from partners. We hope that this training module has given you an overview of the core parts of the 21st century community learning centers in Oregon. Please check with your supervisor about completing more of the 21st CCLC online orientation training modules, and also about completing the orientation training checklist. There's also a resource document that you'll find online with these modules. It'll give you links to the resources that we use to create this module and to more information you might want to look up. Thanks. See you in the next module.